Venom is one of nature's oldest weapons. It has evolved independently over 50 times across the animal kingdom, in insects, fish, reptiles, mammals, and things that don't fit neatly into any category. Each one arrived at the same solution through a completely different path. The goal is always the same: immobilize, kill, digest, defend. Some of these animals use venom to hunt. Some use it purely to survive. Some produce doses so small they barely register. Others carry enough to kill 100 people from a single bite. This is the most venomous animals on Earth, and the science behind what they do to a human body is more unsettling than you'd expect. Inland taipan. The inland taipan holds the title of most venomous snake on Earth. Not most dangerous, most venomous. The distinction matters, and we will get to it. It lives in the remote semi-arid regions of Central Australia, which is the main reason most people have never heard of it. It doesn't encounter humans often. When it does, it would rather leave. But its venom is in a category of its own. A single bite delivers enough toxin to kill around 100 adult humans. The venom is a precisely engineered cocktail: neurotoxins that shut down the nervous system, myotoxins that destroy muscle tissue, and hemotoxins that break down the blood's ability to clot. It works on 3 systems simultaneously. It is also the fastest-acting snake venom on Earth. Without treatment, a bite can be fatal in as little as 30 minutes. The inland taipan doesn't use this venom aggressively. It evolved to hunt mammals, specifically the long-haired rat, and its venom is calibrated for warm-blooded prey. That is why it is so extraordinarily effective on humans. The most venomous snake alive is a shy, reclusive animal that wants nothing to do with you. If it bites you anyway, you have 30 minutes. Deathstalker scorpion. The deathstalker scorpion is responsible for roughly 75% of all scorpion-related deaths worldwide. It lives across North Africa and the Middle East. It is small, usually under 10 centimeters. It is fast, and unlike most scorpions, which use venom primarily as a last resort, the deathstalker stings readily and without much provocation. The venom is a complex mix of neurotoxins called chlorotoxins and agitoxins that attack the nervous system and cause the body's ion channels, the electrical pathways that regulate every muscle and organ, to malfunction simultaneously. The result is uncontrolled muscle spasms, respiratory paralysis, and in severe cases, cardiac failure. Healthy adults typically survive with treatment. Children and the elderly frequently do not. The deathstalker is also attracted to human dwellings. It likes dark, dry spaces, shoes, clothing, bedding. In regions where it is common, shaking out your shoes before putting them on is not a precaution. It is a daily survival habit. The good news is that its venom contains chlorotoxin, which researchers have identified as a highly effective cancer cell marker. It binds almost exclusively to malignant cells. Scientists are currently developing it as a targeted cancer treatment. The deathstalker scorpion may kill thousands of people a year. It may also save millions. Poison dart frog. The poison dart frog does not produce its own venom. This distinction tends to surprise people. It acquires its toxicity by consuming specific insects, mites, beetles, ants, that contain alkaloid compounds. The frog metabolizes these compounds and secretes them through its skin. Remove the frog from its natural diet in captivity, and within a few generations, it becomes completely harmless. The golden poison dart frog is the most toxic. A single individual carries enough batrachotoxin to kill 10 adult humans. Batrachotoxin works by permanently opening sodium channels in nerve and muscle cells, the cellular equivalent of jamming a door open, which causes continuous firing, paralysis, and cardiac arrest. There is no antidote. The indigenous Emberá people of Colombia discovered this and used it for centuries to poison blowgun darts, which is where the name comes from. A dart tipped with golden poison frog secretion could bring down a large animal within minutes. The frog itself is immune to its own toxin through a single amino acid mutation in its sodium channels that prevents batrachotoxin from binding. It essentially rewrote its own biology to carry a weapon that kills everything else. Sydney funnel web spider. Most venomous spiders are dangerous to small animals, but relatively manageable for adult humans. Their venom evolved to hunt insects, not primates. The Sydney funnel web spider evolved differently. Its venom contains a compound called atrachotoxin, specifically delta atrachotoxin, which is uniquely and specifically lethal to primates. It has minimal effect on cats, dogs, or rabbits. In humans, it triggers a massive uncontrolled release of the nervous system's neurotransmitters. Every nerve in the body fires simultaneously. The result is profuse sweating, muscle spasms, respiratory failure, and, in untreated cases, death within 15 minutes. It is also aggressive for a spider. Most species flee when disturbed. The Sydney funnel web rears up and bites repeatedly. Its fangs are large enough to pierce a fingernail. It lives in and around Sydney, Australia, one of the most populated cities in the southern hemisphere. Before anti-venom was developed in 1981, it killed regularly. Since then, not a single death has been recorded from a Sydney funnel web bite with proper treatment. The antivenom is produced using venom milked from live spiders. Australia maintains a network of people who collect and donate Sydney funnel web spiders specifically for this purpose. There is a volunteer program. It has a waiting list. Cone snail. The cone snail moves slowly. It has to. It is a snail. Speed was never going to be its survival strategy, so it developed something else entirely. There are around 700 species of cone snail. All of them are venomous. The most dangerous, the geography cone, carries enough conotoxin in a single shot to kill around 15 people and has no anti-venom. The delivery mechanism is what makes it remarkable. The cone snail has a harpoon-like tooth called a radula that it can extend in any direction, including backwards, sideways, and directly out of what appears to be the harmless end of the shell. It fires with enough force to pierce a wetsuit. Conotoxin is a cocktail of hundreds of individual peptide compounds, each targeting a different part of the nervous system. The combined effect is total paralysis, first of the limbs, then the diaphragm. The victim cannot breathe. It acts fast enough that some victims don't realize they've been stung until the paralysis begins. The cone snail's primary hunting targets are fish. It stuns them instantly, swallows them whole, and moves on at its usual pace. Collectors pick up cone snails on beaches because the shells are beautiful. This happens often enough that it has its own dedicated section in toxicology literature. Stonefish. The stonefish is the most venomous fish alive. It is also almost completely invisible. It sits motionless on the ocean floor, resembling a rock or a piece of coral so precisely that divers and swimmers step on it without seeing it at all. This is not a hunting strategy. It is a defense mechanism. The stonefish is not aggressive. It simply doesn't move when something approaches because it doesn't need to. When stepped on, 13 dorsal spines drive upward through the sole of a shoe or a bare foot and deliver verrucotoxin, a protein-based venom that causes immediate and total tissue destruction at the wound site, nerve damage, temporary paralysis of the affected limb, and pain that is consistently described by survivors as the worst physical sensation they have ever experienced. People have requested amputation of the affected limb just to end the pain. Treatment involves immersing the wound in hot water, which breaks down the protein structure of the venom, followed by anti-venom in severe cases. The stonefish is not trying to kill you. It genuinely does not care that you are there. That is, in some ways, worse. Bullet ant. The bullet ant does not produce a venom that kills. It produces a venom that makes you wish it did. The bullet ant carries ponerotoxin, a neurotoxic compound that causes pure, undiluted, localized pain with no secondary effects. No tissue damage, no organ failure. Just pain. Rated at the absolute top of the Schmidt-Sting Pain Index, the scientific scale developed by entomologist Justin Schmidt, who allowed himself to be stung by hundreds of insect species in the name of research. His description of the bullet ant sting? Pure, intense, brilliant pain, like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail embedded in your heel. The pain lasts 24 hours. It does not peak and fade. It remains at maximum intensity for the full duration. The Satere-Mawe people of the Brazilian Amazon use bullet ants in a coming-of-age ritual. Young men wear gloves woven with hundreds of live bullet ants and must keep them on for 10 minutes. They do this 20 times before the ritual is considered complete. The bullet ant's venom won't kill you. It will, however, make the next 24 hours a very long time. Box jellyfish. The box jellyfish is considered by many marine biologists to be the most dangerous venomous animal on Earth. Not the most venomous by volume, the most dangerous by outcome. It trails up to 3 meters of tentacles, each lined with millions of nematocysts, microscopic venom-injecting cells that fire on contact with skin, independently of any action by the jellyfish itself. The animal doesn't sting you. Its tentacles sting you automatically, whether the jellyfish is alive or dead, and whether the tentacle is still attached or not. The venom attacks the heart, nervous system, and skin cells simultaneously. Cardiac arrest can occur within 2 to 5 minutes of a significant sting. Survivors frequently go into shock from pain alone before the cardiovascular effects take hold. It is also nearly transparent. In open water, it is essentially invisible. The box jellyfish has 24 eyes arranged in clusters across its bell. It can see. It navigates actively, avoids obstacles, and appears to hunt deliberately. For an animal with no brain, this raises questions that marine biologists have been arguing about for decades. Most venomous animals give you some kind of warning. The box jellyfish is invisible, brainless, and moves toward you on purpose. Brazilian wandering spider. The Brazilian wandering spider holds the Guinness World Record for most venomous spider on Earth. Unlike most spiders, it does not build a web and wait. It hunts actively at night, moving across the forest floor, which is where the name comes from. It also wanders into human spaces, banana shipments, shoes, cars, houses. It has been found in grocery stores across Europe and North America inside imported fruit. The venom causes intense pain, inflammation, and in serious cases priapism in males, a painful and persistent condition that has led researchers to investigate its compounds as a treatment for erectile dysfunction. Clinical trials have been conducted. The compound in question is now called PNTX2-6. In severe envenomations, the venom causes loss of muscle control, respiratory failure, and death. Children are most at risk. The spider is also fast, aggressive when threatened, and does not give much warning before striking. There is anti-venom. It requires getting to a hospital quickly, which in remote jungle regions is not always possible. The Brazilian wandering spider did not ask to end up in a box of bananas in a supermarket in Belgium. But here we are, Irukandji jellyfish. The Irukandji jellyfish is roughly the size of a fingernail. Its main bell is about 1 centimeter across. Its tentacles extend up to a meter. It is found primarily off the coast of Australia and is almost completely transparent in open water. The sting itself is often painless. This is the first problem. Between 5 and 45 minutes later, Irukandji syndrome begins. Severe lower back pain, muscle cramps across the entire body, nausea, vomiting, a sense of impending doom so overwhelming it has been formally documented as a clinical symptom. Patients have begged doctors to let them die to end it. Blood pressure spikes to dangerous levels. In serious cases, fluid accumulates around the heart and brain. The sensation of impending doom is not psychological. It is a direct neurological effect of the venom. There is no anti-venom. Treatment is pain management and monitoring until the syndrome passes, which takes hours. The Irukandji is small enough that standard jellyfish nets do not stop it. It passes straight through. An animal the size of your thumbnail can clear an entire beach, shut down a hospital ward, and make a grown adult beg for death. It does this without a brain, without eyes, and without any awareness that you exist. Venom evolved because survival required it. The inland taipan that can kill 100 people chose to hunt rats in the outback instead. The cone snail that fires a harpoon in any direction just wants to eat a fish. The stonefish sitting invisible on the ocean floor is not hunting you. It is simply there, and you are not looking where you step. Every animal on this list developed its weapon under pressure. Millions of years of predators, prey, competition, and catastrophe produced something precise enough to stop a human heart, dissolve tissue, or lock a nervous system in permanent paralysis. None of them developed it for us. We just happen to be vulnerable to all of it.